Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone, and enough respect to the brothers out there pushing and spreading the gospel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai to the four corners of the world. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai, this lesson, which is a lesson of the Feast of Israel, is going to be focused on the first fruits. And I'm going to continue on the pattern by always bringing out this image and let it be known that the Israelites, customarily in the ancient days, they determined their months based on the phases of the moon. All right? They determined their days based on the phase of the moon, and then the new moon was the first day, and from then on they would count until the day in which the Most High had appointed to be a feast. And then they would carry out the commandments that the Most High has given to them concerning that feast, and so on and so forth. All right. And the precept, of course, Genesis chapter 1, verse 13, it says, "And the evening and the morning were the third day." Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, "And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years." All right. Now, Sirach chapter 43, starting from verse 6. This is the moon, which is also Ecclesiasticus chapter 43, starting from verse 6. "The moon stands at its proper time, and notification of times, and an everlasting sign. The sign for a feast comes from the moon, a luminous body that wanes when it completes its course." All right. So with that being said, let's get into it. The Feast of Israel, the first thing that we have to understand is that it is a portion that is decreed by the Most High to be for the priest and the Levites, right? The priests or Levites, because as I had previously stated that not all Levites are priests, but all priests are Levites. All right. But before we get into, actually, let me just start off with that. Yeah. This is Numbers chapter 18, starting from verse 8. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Aaron, Behold, I also have given thee the charge of thine heave offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them by reason of anointing, and to thy sons by an ordinance forever." All right. "This shall be thine of the most holy things, reserved from the fire. Every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs." These are the things that are reserved from the fire. The things that do not get burnt is for them. It belongs to them. The things are the oblations, the meat offerings, every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and for thy sons. In the most holy place thou shalt eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be holy unto thee. And this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offering of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons and to thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. Every one that is clean in thine house shall eat it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, and of the first fruits of them which they offer unto the Lord, them have I given thee." This is the point that I want to highlight. "And whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they have bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. Every one that is clean in thine house shall eat of it. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine." This is the decree of the Most High. Another precept. Let's get into Nehemiah chapter 10. Whoops. This is Nehemiah chapter 10. Starting from verse 36, 35. It says, "And to bring the first fruits of our ground, and the first fruit of all trees year by year, unto the house of the Lord Yahweh. Also the firstborn of our sons and of our cattle, as it is written in the law. These obviously are not given unto the priest. These were redeemed. Everything that openeth the womb for the first time gets dedicated unto the Lord, and you have to redeem it. You have to buy it back from the Lord, right? It says also the firstborns of your sons and of your cattle, as it is written in the law, and the firstling of our herds and of our flock, to bring to the house of our God with the priest that minister in the house of the Lord. And that we should bring the first fruits of our dough and our offerings, and the first fruits of all manner of trees, of wine and of oil, unto the priest, to the chambers of the house of our God, and the tithes of our ground unto the Levites, that the same Levites might have their tithes in all cities of our tillage. And the priest, the son of Aaron, shall be with the Levites, right? Again, because there's the priest, the priesthood is reserved for Aaron and his descendants, and they choose the people of their brethren, the Levites, to minister with them, right? But that doesn't make them priest. It only makes Aaron priest, and the brethren that works with him, the helpers, in priestly manners. So it says, and the priest, the sons of Aaron, shall be with the Levites. When the Levites take tithes, the Levites shall bring up the tithes of the tithes unto the house of our God, to the chambers, into the treasure house. For the children of Israel and the children of Levi shall bring the offering of corn and of new wine and the oil unto the chambers, where are the vessels of the sanctuary, and the priests that minister, and the porters and the signers, we will not forsake the house of the Lord. So this is when we had come back from the Babylonian captivity. Under the Persian captivity, we were granted permission, okay, to go and restore the kingdom. I mean, to go and live and restore the temple. And when the temple was restored, this was what they had put in place. All right, they put up all the as we read, they the everything that was holy. They built the temple, they dedicated the temple, and so on and so forth, right? But the point here is that the things that are offered unto the Lord, it belongs to the Levite. The things that are not burnt, all right? So, that being said, let me just also get into the book of Ezra. It says, the book of Ezekiel, Salakia, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 44, verse 28, it says, and it shall be unto them for an inheritance. I am the inheritance, and ye shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. It's the same thing that said that the Most High decreed in the wilderness after the Levites went throughout the camp and killed all those who would choose Baal over the Lord. So it says, and ye shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. They shall eat the meat offering and the sin offering and the trespass offering, and every dedicated thing in Israel shall be theirs. And you see how the Most High rewards those who are, how do I put it, who stick to him, who are loyal to him, right? So because these Levites were living good, they were doing a dangerous job, a job that could end up costing their life if they did not do it right. But they were living good. The Levites were rich. They didn't have to toil like the rest of the nation, but they still had sustenance, a lot of it actually. It says, and the first of all the first fruit of all things. See, the first of all the first fruit of all things, because the word first fruit isn't simply the things that were first harvested, but it also means the choicest, right? The best. Like what's the thing in literature called superlative, right? When you want to say good, when you want to go a bit further, you say better. If you want to go a step further, then you say best. So first fruit means the choicest of all the things that are harvested, and every oblation of all, because you can't just say, okay, I harvested this first, I'm gonna bring that to the Lord. Nah, if it has some spots on it, some brown stuff, nah, you can't be bringing that over here. You gotta bring the best plump, all right, fruits. Okay, you gotta bring the best of the dough and all these things unto the Lord. And every oblation of every sort of your oblation shall be the priest. You shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that he may cause the blessing to rest in thine house. The priest shall not eat of anything that is dead of itself or torn, whether it be fowls or beasts. And this also goes for all the children of Israel. All right. But seeing as it's concerning the order of priests, this is added onto it. Now, the reason I have this set up separately is because when you read the scriptures and you go through the first fruits, you'll find out that the scriptures will simply say first fruit, and then it will give you a different a time to keep the first fruit. And then when you read another place, it tells you another time to keep the first fruit. And that's because the first fruit isn't a feast, it's the name that's given to what you bring to the Lord, right? So the Most High has set things in place where 3 times a year we are to bring first fruit, but we have different names for the feast that we keep unto the Lord. One of them being the Feast of Pentecost, or the Feast of Tabernacle, and the Sheaf offering, which is also Passover, right? Because when the scripture says 3 times a year shall all male appear before me, I believe this is the precept. Let me get it. But I don't have Passover down because I knew it's going to be confusing, so I put the sheaf offering. And very soon you're going to know why I put sheaf offering. Right, this is Exodus chapter 23, verse 16. It says, "In a feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and a feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. 3 times in the year shall all thy males shall appear before the Lord Yahweh thy God." Right. So 3 times. So this would, I guess I could just put Passover. Let me just edit this real quick. /Passover. Yeah. So you will come Passover, but you won't come to the Passover empty-handed, right? You will come to the Passover with your sheaf offering, the first of your fruit, because it's also springtime and harvest, right? So you will bring that to the Passover and you will give that to the fruit. So Passover is very, very busy. And then you will come up in the middle of the year. I believe I have these switched. I think you would, yeah, you would come up to you do the Feast of Pentecost and then the Feast of Tabernacle, because this is, we'll get into it. So just want to bring out these precepts, which is essentially a warning from the Most High that no man is to try to finesse his way out of giving what belongs to the Most High. So Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16 says, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord Yahweh thy God in a place which he shall choose, which is Jerusalem, in the feast of unleavened bread, in other words, the Passover, in the feast of weeks, right, which is the Pentecost, and in the feast of tabernacle, and they shall appear before the Lord, and they shall not, right, they shall not appear before the Lord Yahweh thy God empty. And every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord Yahweh thy God, which he hath given thee. Right? Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates. So when you come through the city of Jerusalem, you have people there waiting for you. Yo, what you got over there? Hey, let me see what you got over here. Let me see them. Your harvest, the good stuff. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord Yahweh thy God giveth you, throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. Thou shalt not wrest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift or bribe, right? Thou shalt not respect persons. You are not supposed to discriminate, right? And let's look at the word rest. I'm not sure what that means. Oops. To stretch out, extend, spread out, pitch, turn over, pervert, incline, bend. All right. So playing around, trying to be how do I put this? Let's find that in a translation. A different translation. right? You're not to pervert justice. Yeah, it's as simple as that, right? Twist justice, because you have a lot of people out there that want to play around with technicalities like Esau does, fucking Edomites, pass laws, and the poor people got to follow the law, but the rich people don't got to follow the law. And if the rich people are found guilty, they have some technicalities and they acquit the wicked, you know. But the Most High does not set things up like that. So it says, "Thou shalt not pervert judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, discriminate, neither take a gift, a bribe, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise. A gift will corrupt your heart. It doesn't matter how smart, how versed you are in the law, a gift will mess up your mind, right? And pervert the words of the righteous. That which is altogether just shall thou fall." That's why I remember even Apostle Tahar a while back, he made a video, he was talking about, look man, if you have some guy, who, if a scenario arises where some dude will have like a rich guy who come over camp every day and then give you $5,000 or something like that, a case will arise where you won't even get on that dude, for not doing what he's supposed to do in the truth, because he's giving you money and now it'll corrupt your heart. There was it's something he had mentioned a while back. I'm roughly paraphrasing, but yeah, it says, "That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which the Lord Yahweh thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not plant thee a grove, right, of any trees near unto the altar of the Lord Yahweh thy God, which thou shalt make thee." And this is something that Israel purposefully broke, "Neither shalt thou set up any image which the Lord Yahweh thy God hateth." And this also they broke. Jake has a habit of, they will sit there, listen to the commandments being written out. They will understand the commandment just so they can break it. All right. Another precept. All right. I might not even get into this one, but Leviticus chapter 2, starting from verse 12, it says, "As for the oblation of the first fruit, ye shall offer them unto the Lord Yahweh, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offering thou shalt offer salt. And if thou offer a meat offering of thy first fruit unto the Lord, thou shalt offer the meat offering of thy first fruit green ears of corn, dried by fire, even corn beaten of full ears. And thou shalt put oil upon it, and lay frankincense upon it. Upon thereon it is a meat offering." And meat offering here, it's not like meat as in protein, but meat as in vegetables. All right, or grain. Let me find right now. Meat offering, grain offering. There it is. All right, it's just something to keep in mind for those who don't know. "And the priest shall burn the memorial of it, part of the beaten corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord." Right. So, let's see. Right. So it's for the fruit. It's for the priest. They burn the remainder, right, and they keep the rest. Leviticus chapter 23. Let me see. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 16. It says, "Even unto tomorrow after Sabbath shall ye unnumber 50 days." So this is where I have the Feast of Pentecost. This is one of them. And the other one, 23:16. Right. So even the morrow after the Sabbath, matter of fact, let me just go up a little bit. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15, it says, "And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath," right, which is I put it down as the 16th day, because, let me see, the Sabbath will be, so the morrow after the Sabbath will be, the night of the Passover, and the morrow after the Sabbath will be when will be after the first day of the unleavened bread, right? So which will be the 16th day, which is why I have it here as such. So thou shalt count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf offering, even 7 Sabbath shall be complete. So the first offering, the first fruit offering, is the sheaf offering, and that happens on the 16th day, or the day after the Sabbath is complete. And then the next one that comes after is, even until the morrow after the Sabbath shall you number 50 days. So after that day, you number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. That new meat offering would be the Feast of Pentecost, right? And let me see. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deal. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruit unto the Lord. And ye shall offer with bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, 1 young bullock, 2 rams. They shall be for burnt offering unto the Lord. This will be the sacrificial sacrifice that comes with it. I'm going to get into that. So every first fruit, you are to bring what? You are to, there's Israel as a whole is supposed to sacrifice 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams, and they shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord Yahweh. So every feast, there is a list of the kind of offering that you're supposed to make. Right, the Passover was different, or the day of unleavened bread had its own, and then the next day after that, we would have to make this, right, which is 7 lambs, 1 young bullock, 2 rams. 7 lambs, 1 young bullock, 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord Yahweh, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord. Let me see. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offering. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruit for a wave offering before the Lord Yahweh, with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy unto the Lord Yahweh for the priest. And ye shall proclaim on the self same day, that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. So even though the first of the first fruit doesn't fall on the Sabbath, it's supposed to be what? A holy convocation. We ain't supposed to do any servile work, sort of like a holiday. So the holiday really, goes from, how do I call it? It doesn't, even the day after the Sabbath, it'll still be a holy convocation, all right? Convocation. And holy convocation, let me see. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make a clean riddance of your corn ears of thy field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord Yahweh your God. Right, because somebody may come up with the mindset of, well, you know what, if I'm having less this time because I'm giving all of them to the Lord, then let me make sure I don't leave anything on my field. And the most are like, nah, regardless of what you have to give me, you have to leave a remnant on your field always. Whenever you harvest, there is no exceptions, right? You leave some left for the poor, right? Because the Most High is a righteous judge, and he considers the poor. All right. It says, and the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, in the 7th month, in the first day, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial blowing of trumpet, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. Well, there's a different feast, the Feast of Trumpet. But I believe that leads, that leads into the Day of Atonement. I'm not gonna get into that. So let's get this one. Maybe it'll talk about the other ones. Is this the right precept? Thrice a year. Yeah, this is the wrong one. All right, so let's just begin with an admonishment from the Lord. So Proverbs chapter 3 verse 9 says, honor the Lord Yahweh thy God with thy sustenance. I should have started with this. And with the first fruit of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. Right, because you ain't supposed to try to, when you're dealing in the spirit, it's not always about logic, Logic is good. Logic it's important, and it's something that a wise man does. But when it comes to following the commandment of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, you gotta sometimes switch off your brain for a second. Because while someone would be saying, well, let me make sure I how am I going to eat if I'm giving it all to the Lord? How am I going to have increase? How is my business going to go on if the things that I'm supposed to sell as a farmer, I'm just giving it all for free to these Levi priests? Well, then the Most High is going to see that He's going to curse your land, and nothing ever grows. So this is just a slight precept that I wanted to bring out, and for those who always went up there to keep the Passover, they were following the commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yashai because they were obedient sons. They were wise, and they did what the Lord asked regardless. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know how long I've spent. So let me just finish off on the sheaf offering. The sheaf offering is the first harvest of the year, right? Because it happens right after the Passover. A priest wave a sheaf of grain before the Lord as a first fruit offering. Let me get that in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 26. Deuteronomy chapter 26, starting from verse 1, it says, and it shall be when thou art come into the land which the Lord Yahweh thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, and possesseth it, and dwelleth therein, that thou shalt take of the first of all the fruits of thy. Because the first fruit was not kept in the wilderness. It was kept when we got into the land. In the wilderness, we weren't cultivated. We were nomads, and we received manna from the Lord. So it says, when thou art come into the land, when you are established in the land, when everyone has a land, when everyone has tools, and agriculture has started to take off, which the Lord Yahweh has given thee for inheritance, and possess it and dwell therein, then thou shalt take of the first of all the fruits of the earth, which thou shalt bring of thy land, that the Lord Yahweh thy God giveth thee, and shalt put it in a basket, and shalt go unto the place which the Lord Yahweh thy God shall choose to place His name there. And thou shalt go unto the priest that shall be in those days, and say unto him, I profess this day unto the Lord Yahweh thy God, that I am come unto the country which the Lord Yahweh sware unto my fathers to give us. And the priest shall take the basket of thy hand, and set it down before the altar of the Lord Yahweh thy God. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord Yahweh thy God, a Syrian ready to perish was my father, which is Abraham. And he went down into Egypt, and sojourned there a few, and became there a great nation, great, mighty, and populous. It's our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the Egyptians evil entreated us, and afflicted us, and laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried unto the Lord Yahweh, God of our fathers, and the Lord Yahweh heard our voice, and looked on our affliction, and our labor, and our oppression. And the Lord Yahweh brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with a great terribleness, and with signs and wonders. Woo, a great terribleness. And when He had brought us into the land, and has given us this land, even a land that floweth with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruit of the land which thou, O Lord Yahweh, hast given me. And thou shalt set it before the Lord Yahweh thy God, and worship before the Lord Yahweh thy God. And thou shalt rejoice in everything which the Lord Yahweh thy God giveth thee unto thine house, thou and the Levites and the stranger that is among you. When thou hast made an end of tithing of all tithe of increase, the third year which the Lord which the year of tithing has given unto the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, that they may eat in thy gates. It's like, yeah. Right, it was up to verse 11. Right, so the point here, it's fine. The point is that the priest shall take the basket out of thine hand and set it down before the altar of the Lord. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord. So it's sort of like a recital. You have to recite these things when you offer your offering unto the Lord. And then the priest will take it out of your hand. And again, you say, a Syrian ready to perish. And this is the how the first fruit, right, was kept. Of course, we don't have nowadays. We don't have any land. We don't make any harvest. We have nothing to our name. So keeping this is impossible. But the ones that we can keep, we keep it to the best of our abilities. And I believe I already brought this out. It's observed. This particular first fruit offering is observed the third day after the Passover, right, or the 16th day of the month. Two days after Passover? I don't know. Just I'm just gonna delete this. I believe it. Yeah, I meant to write 2 days after Passover. So, right. Yeah. 2 days after Passover, the 14th. Yeah, that makes sense. Select it for that. And the sacrificial service. Also on the day of the first fruit, when ye bring new meat offering unto the Lord, after your weeks be out, ye shall have a holy convocation, a holy gathering. Ye shall do no servile work, but ye shall offer burnt offering for a sweet savour unto the Lord Yahweh, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year, and their meat offering of a flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deal unto 1 bullocks, and 2/10 deal unto 1 ram, and several tenth deal unto 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 kid of goat to make an atonement for you. I believe I already brought this point out. And ye shall offer beside the continual burnt offering and his meat offering, and they shall be unto you without blemish, and their drink offering. So I just hit this again. Let me see. Yep. So this Numbers 28 will be the law of offering, and I believe last time I brought enough for the Passover or the unleavened bread, and now we're talking about the day after that, which is the first fruit. You go on and do this also. So with that, I'm gonna end it right here. Next time we're gonna go into the Feast of Pentecost and the Feast of Tabernacle, and Lord willing, this be edifying. So with that, I'm gonna end it. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Shabrak. To all the Akims and Akwafs listening in truth and sincerity, how Bashim Shabrak. I hope this was very edifying. And may we continue growing in this truth and please Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. So, and the blessing be upon the house. With that, I'm going to end it by giving a praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahshai, Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.